Welcome back sa Mathusay General Math Tutorial. Ako nga pala si Teacher J, ang inyong Mathusay mentor. Sa chapter na ito, pag-aaralan natin ang rational functions at kung paano na i-represent ang isang real-life situation gamit ang rational function. Let's start! Nung kayo ay nasa grade 10, napag-aralan ninyo ang polynomial function, na kung saan ang polynomial function p of degree n is a function that can be written in the form of p of x equals a sub n x raised to n plus a sub n minus 1 x raised to n minus 1 plus a sub n minus 2 x raised to n minus 2 plus up to a sub 0, where a sub 0, a sub 1, a sub n are elements of real number and a sub n must not be equal to 0 and n is a positive integer. Sa polynomial function na p of x, ang a sub 0, a sub 1, a sub n, a sub 3, up to a sub n ay tinatawag nating numerical coefficient. Ang a sub n naman, o yung numerical coefficient ng term na may mas mataas na exponent ay tinatawag nating leading coefficient. Ang a sub n, x raised to n, ay tinatawag nating leading term. At ang a sub 0 ay tinatawag nating constant term. Tandaan, bawal magkaroon ng negative o fractional exponent ang expression dahil hindi na ito magiging polynomial function. Ngayon, pag-uusapan natin ang rational function. Ano bang ibig sabihin pag sinabi nating rational? Ang unang ideya sa ating isipan ay fraction. Kung meron tayong dalawang numbers a and b at na-express as a over b, dapat b must not be equal to 0. Ganito din ang konsepto ng rational function. Ang rational function is a function of the form f of x equals p of x all over q of x, where p of x and q of x are polynomial functions. So, importante na yung p at ang function na q of x ay polynomial function. And the q of x is not the zero function. Tandaan din natin na kapag nagdi-deal tayo ng rational function, ang domain nito is the set of all values of x na kung saan hindi dapat maging zero ang denominator. Right? Ito ang mga halimbawa ng rational functions. F of x equals 1 over x. G of x equals x all over x squared minus 9. At h of x equals 3x squared minus 5x minus 2 all over 3x squared plus 7x plus 2. Ito naman ay hindi mga rational functions dahil ito ay may mga fractional exponent. So, hindi ito rational functions. So, tandaan dapat ang ating numerator ay polynomial function at ang ating denominator naman ay polynomial functions. Dapat din ang denominator must not be equal to 0. This time, tayo ay magre-represent ng real-life situation using rational functions. Example number 1. An object is traveling a distance of 10 meters. Express velocity v as a function of travel time t in seconds. Alam natin na ang distance is equal to velocity times time. Dahil gusto nating i-express ang velocity v as function of travel time, we have velocity is equal to distance over time. In this case, since pinag-uusapan natin ay 10 meters, ang ating function dapat ay v of t equals 10 over t. Kung gusto natin malaman ang velocity ng object in 1 second, ang velocity ay 10. That is, v of 1 equals 10 over 1. Diba? 10 divided by 1 is still 10. Now, in 2 seconds, the velocity is 5. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Right? So, in 3 seconds naman, if t is 3, so the velocity should be 3.33. If we want to know the velocity in 4 seconds, so it should be 2.5. That's because 10 divided by 4 is 2.5. Now, in 5 seconds, ang velocity niya ay 2. And kung i-compute natin till 10 seconds, so when t is 10, the speed or the velocity rather should be 1 meter per second. Ang situation na ito ay pwede nating i-represent gamit ang function na v of t equals 10 over t. Ang function na ito ay isang rational function. Let's have example number 2. Suppose that c of t equals 5t all over t squared plus 1 in milligram per milliliter represents the concentration of a drug in the patient's bloodstream t hours after the drug was administered. Ang gagawin natin ay magko-construct tayo ng table of values for c of t for t equals 1, 2, 5, and 10. At ating igagraph ang function at i-interpret ang results. Ang function na c of t equals 5t all over t squared plus 1 ay nagre-represent ng concentration of drugs in the patient's bloodstream t hours after the drug was administered, di ba? So, at the beginning, when t is equal to 0, the concentration of drug is also 0. Malamang dahil hindi pa na-i-inject yung drug. So, after 1 hour, kung na-inject na yung drug, so after 1 hour, so ang concentration of drug in the patient's bloodstream should be 2.5 milligram per milliliter. After 2 hours naman, kung i-calculate natin, meron na lang 2 milligram per milliliter na drug concentration. After 5 hours, meron na lang 0.962 milligram per milliliter. At kapag i-calculate natin up to the 10 hours, after 10 hours, no? So, when t is 10, so the concentration of drug should be 0.495 milligram per milliliter. Dahil may set of ordered pairs na tayo, pwede na tayong mag-sketch ng graph. Ang graph ng function na c of t equals 5t all over t squared plus 1 ay ito. Anong ibig sabihin nitong graph? The graph indicates that the maximum drug concentration occurs around 1 hour kasi ito yung pinaka-peak ng graph natin after the drug was administered. So after 1 hour, the graph suggests that the drug concentration decreases. So kung mapapansin nyo, pababa na yung concentration of drug sa body ng patient. So until it is almost 0. So kung i-compute pa rin up to ilang hours, so malalaman natin na bumababa ang concentration of drug in a patient bloodstream. So kung papansin niyo, ang function na ito ay isang halimbawa ng rational function. Let's take example number 3. The distance from Manila to Baguio is around 250 kilometers. How long will it take you to get to Baguio if your average speed is 25 kilometers per hour, 40 kilometers per hour, 50 kilometers per hour? So dahil alam natin na ang distance is equal to speed times time, at gusto nating malaman kung gaano katagal ang isang biyahe, ang formula na gagamitin natin in this case ay time equals distance all over speed. So, kung ang average speed ng sasakyan ay 25 kilometers per hour, ang biyahe ay aabutin ng 10 hours dahil 250 kilometers divided by 25 kilometers per hour ay 10 hours. So, kung ang average speed naman ay 40 kilometers per hour, ang biyahe ay aabutin ng 6.25 hours. That is 250 divided by 40. 5 hours naman ang aabutin kung ang average speed ay 50 kilometers per hour. Letter B. Construct a function of S, where S is the speed of travel that describe the time it takes to drive from Manila to Baguio. So, dapat ang function natin ay T of S equals D over S dahil ang pinag-uusapan naman natin ay time, no? And time can be computed by dividing distance over the speed. Since ang distance from Manila to Baguio ay 250 kilometers, ang function na pwedeng mag-represent kung gaano katagal ang isang biyahe base sa speed nito ay T of S equals 250 all over S. Again, this is an example of a rational function. Please pause the video and itry ninyong sagutan ang mga exercises na ito. If you're done, i-type ninyo ang inyong answers sa comment section. If you think Mathusay math tutorial helps you learn what rational function is and how we can represent real-life situation using rational function, give this video a thumbs up, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Remember, ang sikreto para maging mathusay, matuto, at mag-ensayo. Panoorin ang susunod na lesson upang malaman ang pagkakaiba ng rational functions, rational equations, at rational inequalities. Bye!